Hello yogis. Today we're going to be looking at and focusing on one of the most important muscles in the body, in my opinion, the psoas muscle, the hip flexor. In other words, it's the muscle that dominates in the movement of bringing the chest to the thigh towards the chest. So this is flexion. And because we commonly sit in cars and couches and chairs and at desks for long extended periods of time, that psoas muscle is not always particularly happy. But in addition to the back pain that it can cause us when it's not functioning or the poor posture, it is also an incredibly important muscle with regards to the nervous system, fight or flight, rest and digest. It's the first muscle to activate, it's the last muscle to let go. Always the first at the table. It flexes when we're in fight or flight, right? It contracts, it gets us ready to flee or fight, or really contracts when we freeze. That's the sympathetic nervous response. We want to stay in the parasympathetic nervous response. We want that rest, digest, that healthy, functional way of being in our bodies. And sometimes just because we're sitting a lot, that psoas muscle is not happy. And because it's not happy, it can stimulate that sympathetic nervous response. We want to practice that parasympathetic nervous response. We want to know that even when there is a little bit of threat, when work gets difficult, when we're having difficult conversations, when our partners or kids are driving us a little bit batty, we want to know that we don't have to hold that tension in the body. We can create a response that tells us, well, we're a little uncomfortable, but we can survive. So the psoas connects way up here at the top of the lumbar spine into all those lumbar vertebrae and snakes through the pelvis and connects to the inner groin. So it's a really big muscle. It passes through some critical areas of the body, all around those digestive organs. It affects breathing because of its proximity to the diaphragm, digestion, procreation, particularly for women. All those things become very important when we're looking at the psoas muscle. So today we're going to be stretching out the psoas muscle, and we're going to notice that my mat is set up against a wall. You're going to need, if you don't have a wall, that's okay. When we come to using the wall, you can use a couch or a chair. We'll get to that when we come to it. But if you do have a wall, it's great to have the short edge of your mat lined up with the wall. To begin with, however, we're going to need a set of blocks because we're going to start lying on the back with some blocks. Just a really gentle way to begin our practice. I'm going to have you lie down on your back. Bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Lift the hips and take your block on its lowest level and place it underneath the pelvis. So underneath the sacrum, that flat part of the pelvis, you should feel really supported here. And we're just going to begin taking some awareness to the breath, in through the nose and out through the nose if you possibly can. Just allow your pelvis to sink really heavily onto the block. There shouldn't be any pain in the low back. If there is, you can take a blanket and you can bring it underneath the back, not underneath the block, so that the back is raised a little bit and the block is a little bit lower. Or you can just grab a couple of books so that your hips are not quite as high. But generally speaking, most people feel pretty comfortable on a block. This should immediately put you in a little bit of a state of relaxation. You should not feel stressed at all in this position. Just allow yourself to breathe nice, long, deep breaths as gravity receives you. And actually, while we're here, I'd like you to take some big belly breaths. So you can place one or even both hands on your belly, and as you inhale, let the belly expand. Lift your hands. And as you exhale, release the belly down. Nice big belly breaths. Inhaling, belly rises. Exhaling, belly releases. Just keep going in your own time, in your own breath. It's important that we remember this. Belly breathing is a key to relaxation. It's actually the way babies breathe. But as we age, as we mature, we tend not to. We tend to want to hold in that gut, and we tend to lose that ability to really take those free breaths where the belly really moves. So just practice that here and now. It's a great way to, again, stimulate that parasympathetic response, that rest and digest response. Keeping your right leg where it is, and just continuing to breathe any way you like, belly breathing or regular breathing, whatever it is for you. We're going to take that left leg and extend it out on the floor, heel to the floor, toes facing up. So the tendency when we lose all engagement is for that left foot to just roll outwards. I'd like you to think about the inseam of the left leg coming down, toes flexing, ankle flexing so that the toes point straight up. And then from deep in the belly, in the mid belly, as you exhale, really extend down through that left heel. So a seated position would have, I'll do it with the right leg, would have the knee forward ahead of the pelvis. Here, because the pelvis is elevated, so that's the high point, the leg is actually below the level of the pelvis, or if you were standing behind the body. And the torso is actually behind the pelvis as well. So this is a little bit of a back bend. So that muscle that goes from sort of the lumbar spine all the way down to the inner connection at the inner groin, that's getting a nice stretch here. And if you'd like, you can extend the hands ahead of you, a little close to the wall, and stretch all the way through, from the hands all the way down to the heel. Really notice how the whole front line of the body, including the abdomen, the whole abdominal wall, all the way down through the heel, get that nice stretch. And then we're going to come back to center, back to placing the left foot. I'm just going to scooch away from the wall here, the left foot down, and now we're going to do the same with the right. Extend the right leg out, and from deep in the belly, right down through the heel, we're elongating. Again, if you'd like, you can reach your hands up for a nice, good stretch. Let's make sure that the right toes are facing towards the ceiling. The inseam of the left leg is pulling downwards. And now we're going to take both legs out. Now again, if this is too much for your low back, you can try elevating the low back. You can go back to doing one leg at a time. Let's really, as we breathe here, on that exhale, try to pull that lower belly back and extend right out through those inner heels. So again, a nice bit of extension, not only through the spine, but getting the legs behind, essentially, if you were standing. It would be like you were thrusting your pelvis forward. A nice big stretch. Oh, it feels good. And we're going to bend the knees, place the soles of the feet on the floor once again. Engage the belly. Lift the hips up, and we're going to slide the block out from underneath the pelvis. Softly, slowly roll all the way down, settling the hips on the floor, and then just wag the knees back and forth. So remember I said that there's a muscle in the back body called the quadratus lumborum, often known as the QL. It's attached to the same vertebrae as the psoas, but more laterally and posteriorly, so more towards the side and back of the spine. Right? It's down here in the low back. We're just going to get a little bit into stretching the side, and maybe you might feel this in the QL as well. We're going to extend the legs, walk the feet over to the right, keeping them straight, heels on the floor, reach your hands up, grab your left wrist with your right hand and stretch it, pull it over to the right. And you're going to feel your side body open up. You may not feel it in the lower left side of the back. You may feel it contracting on the lower right side of the back since we're curling over to the right. And we're going to walk the feet back to center, walk the arms back to center, and then walk the feet over to the left. Left, 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 left. Heels stuck to the floor. Reach over to the left with your right hand and pull your right wrist with your left hand. Getting taller on the right side now. Keep pulling and breathing. And come on back to center, walk the legs back to center, bend the knees once again, and wiggle waggle the knees back and forth. Interlabors. Good, hopefully already feeling a little bit more aligned through the spine and the hips. Take the knees over to the side, roll on up to sitting. And we'll come onto hands and knees. And from here, a little bit of cat and cow. Inhale, lift the tail, lift the chin, lift the chest. Exhale, round the back, draw the belly towards the spine and drop the chin towards the chest. And again, inhale, look up, draw the hands isometrically back on the mat towards your knees as you lift and look up. Exhale, round the back, pull the belly towards the spine, push the hands away from the knees and really curl your chin to your chest. Keep going, taking your time. Your own breath will dictate how long your movement goes. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Take your time. Let the inhale ride that whole wave of arching the back, and the exhale ride the wave of rounding the back. And then when you're ready, we're going to take the knees back just a couple of inches behind the hips, curl the toes under, lift the knees up and press the hips back. Coming into downward facing dog, extend back through the hips, but don't worry if the knees don't straighten. We're looking for a length in the spine. Root down through each and every finger pad and each and every knuckle, gripping down into the mat like your hands were curling into some wet sand. Draw your forearms towards each other, rotate the upper arms away from each other, and draw the shoulder blades down the back. Think about lengthening from tail to crown. For some people, that's going to mean you can straighten the knees, and for other people, that's going to mean don't straighten the knees. Lift your right leg up and back behind you. Bend your right knee. Open up your hip and push the right foot over towards the left. This is also a nice extension for your psoas muscle.
Now here the tendency is going to be to dump down through the left side of the rib cage and the left shoulder. Let's try to pull those back and really try to work the top part of the hip flexor all the way down through the inner groin, but pushing that right leg towards the left without collapsing on the left side. Inhale to straighten the right leg up. Exhale, step the right foot forward towards the right thumb. We're going to take the left knee down to the floor. As you inhale, grow a little taller through the spine, looking forward. If you want, you can have blocks under your hands. As you exhale, pull the hips up and back, but try not to drop the hips. We're lifting them up towards the ceiling. Inhale, forward, chest lift. So just some dynamic lunges. Exhale, pull back. Forward and back. Again, you have a whole inhalation to come forward, a whole exhalation to move back, trying to get a little bit of length in your hamstring as you pull back. And then next time you're forward in your lunge, just gonna hold it there. Your back toes can be curled under, that's how I like to keep mine, or they can be flattened to the floor, up to you. We're gonna take one hand and then the other up onto the right leg. So here you can see how on the right side, the hip flexor is flexing, the thigh coming towards the body. On the left side, we're getting lots of extension through that hip flexor. So from here all the way down to the inner groin. Hug the right foot back, hug the left knee forward so there's power in the legs, and try to take your hips forward, right? Now here we don't want to let the belly hang. We want to keep some lift in the belly so that the hip flexor is what's moving. It's not coming from overarching the back. Now we're going to take the right hand, let it dangle down next to you. If you want, you can have a block right next to the right, underneath the right fingertips. Inhale, lift the left arm up, and now reach for the floor with the right hand. Reach over with the left. We're not leaning forward here, we're going straight across. Right, so chest keeps lifting as you extend down through the right, over through the left. Think about that left hip point moving forward. Now that's a real stretch in your hip flexor. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Maybe a little uncomfortable, but you're gonna be okay. We're coming back to center, and now lift both arms up. If you'd like, you can hook the thumbs together. Try to take your gaze up and lift your heart towards the sky. On an exhale, bring both hands down. We're gonna slide that right knee back. Wow. And let's do some little circles, or big circles with the hips, around and around. You may feel that your right side is real different from the left. That's okay. It's all coming together. We're gonna do the left side now. So when you're ready, make your way back into downward facing dog. Rooting through all those finger pads and through the index knuckle, lift the knees up, press back. Downward dog, again. Let downward dog be about your spine, not about straightening the legs. Let's lift the left leg up. Bend the left knee, push the left foot over to the right without collapsing on that right side. So we're taking that right hip back, right armpit up towards the sky as you press back with that left leg. Inhale, stretch the left leg. Exhale, step it forward towards the left thumb. Right knee comes down on the floor. Double up your mat if you need to, or use a cushion or a blanket underneath that knee. Some pulsing lunges. Inhale, expand through the chest as you hug the left foot back. Exhale, pull the hips back. Flex the left foot if you can. The left knee may be straight, it may not be, that's okay. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Nice long, slow breaths. Be aware of your movement, be aware of the sensations that flow through. Don't get attached to any of them, just watch them come and go. Next time forward in your lunge, we're going to hold it here. Bring one hand and then the other hand up onto the left leg. Hug the left foot back and right knee forward. This will bring power into the legs. It'll also help you bring your hips forward. So we're going for that nice extension through the hip flexor and other muscles, of course, especially the hip flexor on that right side. Keep the belly lifting. Some tone in that low belly. Then we're going to drop the left hand, the left arm, nice and loose. Now down by your left side, lift the right arm up. Stretch the left hand towards the floor. Reach the right arm over. You can have a block under your fingertips if that makes you feel more balanced. Think about the outer right hip pulling forward. Big stretch. We're going to bring both arms up. Again, low belly lifting. Try to lift your heart towards the ceiling. You can have the hands spread. You can hook those thumbs or interlace the fingers. Press the palms towards the ceiling. You want to really try to get, with the belly lifting, that lift through the upper body. Exhale. When you're ready, both hands come down to the floor. We're going to come back onto hands and knees. Do some of those hip circles. And let's make our way back to downward facing dog, moving the knees slightly behind the hips, curl the toes, and lift the hips, press them back. Again, for some people, knees will straighten, for others, not. What's primary here is that lengthening through the spine. When you're ready, come forward into plank pose or the top of a push-up. Use your knees or don't, it's up to you. Slowly lower all the way to the floor. Bring your right arm out to the right at shoulder height, palm face down. And we're going to roll onto the right side, giving a nice stretch to the shoulder. Take your left foot, plant it behind you on the floor. You can keep the head lifted. You can place a block or a pillow underneath it if you like. So mostly here, we're just concentrating on that stretch in the chest and the shoulder. But now, we're going to add a little bit of love again to the hip and a little to the quad. So we're going to bend the left knee, reach behind you and grab your left foot. Some people may need to bring the knee in, then grab the foot, then take it behind you. Some people will need a strap. These are all good options. Push your foot into your hand into your foot. First, we're bringing the knees towards each other and the foot into the pelvis. And now we're going to kick the left leg back behind you. Kick it into your hand, pulling the left shoulder open, but also, here we are, getting that left thigh bone behind the body. So that's a stretch for that left hip flexor. Keep breathing. Now we're going to try something fun. You're going to keep pressing your left leg behind you and roll onto your belly. Now if your leg is behind you, it's going to stay off the floor. Roll gently, grab the floor with your right hand as you roll onto the body, onto the belly. Take your right arm forward, stretch, and softly release. One hand over the other. Bring your forehead to your hands and just wiggle the hips back and forth. Here we go to the left. So you're going to take your left hand out from the shoulder, arm as straight as it can be. Gently roll onto your left side. For now, just concentrating on the shoulder and the chest. You can plant your right foot behind you if you can. Some people it won't make it, that's okay. So it's up here. You can even, some people can step it in front if that's where you are. Go according to where you are. Don't worry about where you're not. Nice, long, slow breaths. We're gonna reach around with the right hand or bring your knee into your chest. Some people have to lift the knee nice and high, that's okay. Then the knee comes, right knee comes towards the left knee. Pull your foot in towards your right buttock. Now, trying to take the right leg behind you, push your foot into your hand. Open up the chest. Stretch through that right hip. So this is hip extension, right leg coming behind the body. Nice deep breaths. Remember, as we keep breathing those nice long deep breaths, we stop ourselves from slipping into panic. That sympathetic nervous system stays turned off. We try to keep with that parasympathetic nervous system, and now grabbing a hold of the floor, gripping the floor as much as you can with your left fingertips. Softly roll onto the belly. Reach your left arm forward, kick your right leg back. And softly release. Hand over hand. Forehead rests on the hands. And we can just shimmy and shake those hips back and forth. And from here, we're going to press the hands down on either side of the chest. Come up onto hands and knees. Let's do a couple more hip circles. Right, just getting those thigh bones, the tops of the thigh bones rotating inside the hip socket. And this is where we're going to need a wall or a couch. So if you're at a wall, you still may want to double up your mat a few times. I'll show you with mine. I've got a pretty thick mat, so I'm only going to double it up once, but you can do it a second time if your mat is not so thick. And the other thing I'm going to suggest, here's a little trick for those with nail polish on the toes, you're going to need a sock. Just so you don't get on the wall, any marks on the wall, or you can just put a towel up. I suggest having blocks handy as well. Here we go. So this is a quad stretch and a hip flexor stretch, and it's pretty intense. So go at your own pace, go according to what you can do. Being up against a couch and with a big cushion under the knee is going to help a lot. This is a great stretch for, particularly for runners, cyclists as well, anybody who walks or breathes really. So here we go, coming onto the hands and knees. Take your left knee, we're going to bend the left knee, we're going to try to get it as close to the wall as possible. Right? Shin up the wall. This may be where you stay. Great place to stay. You may be already feeling a stretch in the quad. Okay, the top of the left thigh. You may be able to come up onto some blocks. Oh, that's a big stretch in that quad. All right. Now, for those of you who want to go to the next bus stop and don't want to get off here, we're going to take that right knee and get it to a right angle. Big stretch. Trying to lift the chest. Take both hands onto the right thigh. If this is where you need to leave the bus or stay, that's okay. For those of you who want to take it a little bit deeper, we're pulling the hips back, trying to get the buttocks towards the wall, just to the inside of that left foot. Drop the tail, lift the pubic bone. Oh, big stretch in that quad. Big stretch. So when we're real tight there, the right hip wants to hike up. Come off the wall a little, drop the right hip down, see if you can move it back again. Right? You are where you are. You may be way out here, you may be not even near the wall. Whatever is giving you a stretch in your quad, we're happy about that. We're going to take it up the quad and a little bit more into that hip flexor. Scoot your right foot forward on your mat. And now we're going to lunge the hips into the center of the room. Hollow, big quad stretch, big stretch with that hip flexor. Try to lift your chest up. And for those brave souls who are still with us, we can try to lift the arms and reach back. Oops, towards the wall. Oh boy. And when you are ready, which might have been a few breaths ago, you can take it a little deeper. Option A would be go into pigeon with that right leg, or Hanumanasana, go into the splits with that right leg, which I will demonstrate right now. When you're ready, we're going to just pull that right knee back, slide the left leg off the wall. You may need to get up, walk it out a bit, stretch it out a bit, and then we've only got one side left to do. Only one side, so stick with me. All right, so to begin, right knee comes to the wall, right foot up the wall. Already feeling that quad stretch. This may be where you stay. Oh, that may be good enough. Scoop the tailbone, lift the pubic bone. It's all good. To go to the next bus stop, slide that left leg forward. You may notice, I certainly notice, that one side feels really different than the other. It's all right. We all have imbalances. We all tend to favor one side, one leg, one hip. One hand on the left leg, then the other, lifting the chest. And if you can, we're backing the hips up towards the wall. Trying to get everything back. Now, if your hips are off the wall, you don't need to bring the chest back and the shoulders back. Just stay where you are in alignment. That's just fine. Okay. Again, if the left hip is hiking up, we want to come off the wall, try to settle that left hip down. Either stay there or see if you can back it up once again. Right? It's all good. It's very intense. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, long, slow breaths. Oh boy, this is intense. And now we're going to scooch that left leg forward a bit. Scooch, 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 scooch. And lunge off the wall. Oh. I'm making sound effects. You can too. I can't hear you. Keep breathing. Oh, I feel a big difference between my left side and my right side. That inner attachment of my hip flexor on my right side today, I can really feel it. It's right in that inner right groin. And again, for those of you who want to come into more of a stretch, I can't even talk. We're going to keep lifting up from the belly. Keep breathing. Oh, I'm going to bring my hands back down. Keep breathing, even as you lift the chest. Good, and then again, of course, you can pause the video here and do pigeon with the front leg or the splits. Go ahead. Feel free.
And when you're ready, we're going to slide that left knee down and come to sitting. Oh. That's a big stretch for your quads and your hip flexors. Take a couple of breaths here. No more wall work. No more intense wall work. We're going to take the mat back out. That was the peak, I promise. And now we're going to come to sitting with the legs extended out the front. I like taking the socks back off. I like seeing my toes. Right. So if sitting like this is difficult for you, if you kind of feel slouched over, you're going to take a block. Bring the hips up onto the block. Whether you're on the floor of the block, you want to take the flesh of the buttocks away from the sit bone, sitting nice and tall. Keep flexing through the feet. How do you know if you're sitting nice and tall? You're going to feel that inner curve of the low back, right? It's just a nice soft inner curve. So if, when you come onto the floor, you really feel curled over, again, you want that block. If you don't have a block or that's not working for you, just bend the knees, right? We take away the tension from the hamstrings, you should be able to sit a little bit taller. Keeping the right foot flexed. Let's pull the left leg back. I'll do it with you on the same side. Right. If you've got a strap, you can use a strap around that right foot for the lift. So as we come into all these forward folds, again, there's a flexion that we're going to feel. That's another way for that, the working of the hip flexor to extend even as you fold, right? We're going to lengthen through the torso, and then if there's a little bit more fold in you, go for it, right? You can hold the ankle, push with the hands, hold the foot, whatever feels right for you. Extending the heart. So for those who are not so flexible, you're already in a forward fold here. You don't have to move anywhere else. You're totally fine. For those who are a little bit more flexible, a little bit more mobile, at a certain point, the pelvis can't tip anymore. That's when the spine is going to start to round as you come into your full posture. Okay, eventually, that's what happens, but be in the pose that's right for you. Keep breathing. So here, we're going to feel a stretch through that back body, all the way up through the spine and up to the crown of the head. Inhale slowly to come up. Now, from here, we're going to take the right sit bone and just shuffle it forward a little bit, or we can just pull that the left sit bone back. Essentially, we're going to be on more of a diagonal to the opening of the legs, right? Here, we're going to get a lot, again, into that QL, so the lower left side of the back here. Slide your right hand down your right leg. Reach your left arm over. Now, if you're up on a block and you want to use another block to support the left knee, you can. It's up to you. Reach the left arm over. Good place to stay. If you're feeling a little out of balance and you need the lower arm over here, do that. If you have a strap, you can take your strap around your leg, feed it to your upper hand, and then pull up on the strap. Twist the chest open as you root down through that left leg. And as you do that, as you root down through the left leg and extend over, that's where you might feel that QL in the lower left side of the back. Stretch it. Keep breathing. And And now we're gonna inhale to come all the way up. Plant your left hand on the floor. If you have a block under your left knee, you're gonna take it away. Push your left knee down. See if you can lift your hips up. And reach your right arm up and back. And now we're stretching again through the psoas on the right side. Look back at that right hand. One more breath here. And then we're slowly gonna take it down. Coming back to center, sitting in Dandasana or staff pose, legs straight ahead. If not straight, slightly bent, whatever the spine needs. Okay. I'm going to turn around to demonstrate the other side for you. You can stay where you are. We're going to keep the left leg extended, bring the right leg back. So first, Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. Sitting nice and tall, lengthen through the spine, turning the torso towards the extended leg. As you exhale, maybe there's a little movement to be had. Maybe the pelvis will let you tip forward, maybe not. Again, please use a strap if that's the best thing for you. Reaching forward and then lifting up through the crown. For those of you with a little bit more mobility, we extend ultimately right through the crown of the head. So for me, my right QL is a little tighter. I'm already feeling that nice, gentle extension, that pull on the lower right side of my back. If you don't feel that, great, that's cool. You feel what you feel, just breathe. Rooting down through the pelvis, inhale to come up. And now slide the left sit bone forward and the right sit bone back. So we're open to the pelvis a little bit more. Slide the left hand down the left leg and reach the right arm over. So for me, because I'm tighter on the right side, it's harder to get my right arm over. Well, the arm will go, but I can feel that tightness on the right side. If you're working with a strap, feed the strap to that upper hand, to the right hand, and then pull the elbow up, opening the chest. Oh, that feels good. Try to root down through the right sit bone or the right knee to give you that grounding. So you're pinning one side of that elastic down as you stretch the other side over. Keep breathing. Inhale to come all the way up. Plant the right hand down. Lift the left arm up. Good place to stay if you can't lift the hips. Otherwise, push down into the right knee. Stretch open. And softly release. Good. And now for our final pose, we're going to head to Viparita Karani. Legs up the wall. Not the easiest pose to get into. And again, if you don't have a wall, you can use a couch. Just place your shins on the couch, but as close to the front of the couch as you can. If you do have a wall, you're going to slide yourself as close to the wall as you can. One hip against the wall. And then slide your chest, your back down, and your legs up the wall. So if you've still got a gap, that's okay. Or you can do this odd little shimmy to get yourself into the wall. Now again, for some people, legs straight, not gonna happen. That's okay, keep the knees bent. It's fine. We're gonna try to keep that lower back curved away from the floor. Bring the arms down by your sides, palms turning up. And just allow the weight of the legs to settle the thigh bones into the pelvis. This is actually a great release for your hip flexors. Allow the weight of the legs just to make the pelvis feel a little heavier. Let those thigh bones settle. Okay. Okay, again, if your legs are really, really working, just release them a little bit. One of the ways you can feel a little bit more relaxed in this pose so that the feet don't spread out is you can just take your strap and loop it around, tie it around the legs so you can really relax here. In whatever variation you're using, just allow yourself to let go of your breath. Soften. Release. Separate the biting surfaces of your teeth. Let the tongue soften. Let the eyes soften and become heavy. Let your mindfulness recede. Relax and release completely. For those who can stay in this legs up the wall pose a little longer, please do so. Or if you'd like to take full shavasana or head towards your meditation, now's a great time to do so, as you will hopefully feel really balanced and rounded. And for those of you who need to awaken and get on with your day or with your evening, bend the knees, bringing the soles of the feet towards the wall, roll over onto one side, and gently bring yourself up to sitting. I hope you enjoyed our class on the psoas. Please revisit as often as you need. Pick one or two of the things that we did today to fit it into your routine, particularly if you spend a lot of time sitting at your desk or in a car. It's a great thing to get those hips open and just make sure that you're not carrying any physical stressors or the amount of physical stress in your body that will lead to you feeling that way emotionally. Have a great day, everyone.